time to travel back to BLOCKCON. Join me for this amazing series where we get to talk to blockheads who attended the first ever BLOCKCON convention in Chicago, Illinois. Got to go to work on Saturday.
That sucks.
How have you been?
That's gotta be like against the law, right?
It's okay. I probably make most of my money on the weekend because I work in a restaurant, so I accept
gotcha.
it. It's fine.
It's
I'm just gonna
but
give
it's
that.
like I was gonna say it's that necessary evil type of thing.
Yeah, and then I just need to give it to the new kids after anyway. So
Exactly. It's like, here's my paycheck. I don't even deposit it. It just goes right over to their five
yeah.
accounts, or their single account where they then, divvy it up however they have that agreement, but whatever.
Some days it feels like it, but it's totally worth it. It's fine.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, all the time, right? We,
Yeah.
we, we don't complain. We do, but we don't, it's one of those.
So I want to welcome you, DJ
Yeah.
MJ Rock from No More Games Radio to Dope Nostalgia.
What's up? What's up? Thanks so much, Naomi. Our friend Naomi, as we refer to you on the station.
I
I'm
love
very,
that.
very happy to be here. It was good to see
Yes.
you when we were
Yes.
at BLOCKCon.
It was
So,
very good to see you because I met you once before, very briefly last
yes,
year in Miami.
yes. Yep.
Um,
We were a couple of us who weren't going on the cruise from the station decided to participate in kind of a sail away, a pre-sail away thing. And yeah, so DJ Woodshed, Katie, and DJ AK,
mhm.
V tonight.
Yes.
We were the three that weren't going from the station, but wanted to give everybody well wishes, not only from our chicks that we hang out with at the station, but everybody. And yeah, so it was great to see you. I got to see Rat Tail and a whole
Mhm.
other bunch of people. So it was good. It was good. I didn't have to go on the cruise to experience some intros and stuff, which was nice.
Yeah. No, it was really good to see you guys there. I was glad you were able to make it out, and just to be able to have that interaction with everybody was amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And I want to tell people who don't know that you can always listen to this podcast, Dope Nostalgia, every Saturday afternoon on No More Games Radio as well.
Yes. Yes. And we love the collaboration, and you're an awesome rad chick. I mean, there's no other
Oh,
way of saying it. So
so are you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to get right into it. We're going to talk about our experience, your experience in Chicago for
yeah.
BLOCKCON. Um, Now, when did you arrive in town? Did you go to the Wahlburgers events
I
on the
did
Thursday?
not. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I didn't get into Chicago from Baltimore until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So things were already well underway. And let's just say, and this is a big part of my experience. I was traveling for the first time to any New Kids event by myself.
Ah,
So I didn't have normally have either my best friends who we've gone to a many New Kids show starting back from the first show we went to in January of 1990,
mhm.
or during the mixtape tour, this last tour, I got to hang out with a couple of the DJs from the radio station, got to know them very well because we went to a couple shows together. And
Nice.
so this was like totally out of my element, but I figured, you know what? I want to go and experience this very first convention of blockheads, and I wasn't going to let, other outside circumstances affect my ability to go. And so yeah, I didn't get in until later in the afternoon, and so it was a little bit later than when festivities started, and that's a whole lot of people to be dealing with. So I think I'm gonna have my own Wahlburgers experience later down the road, maybe do a VIP party type of thing. I'm really trying to get the station ladies to do a get together there.
Mhm.
Because we are spread out across the United States. I mean, a lot of us are East Coast based, but we are nobody's in the same state. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, that would be a nice team building experience. And if not, I'm gonna do it maybe with my best friends or something. We'll just take a trek out there. But I saw and heard it was phenomenal. Of course, Donnie did his thing as he always does to make sure everybody feels
Mm-hmm.
very welcome and a part of course, the very first huge get together of everybody over a span of a couple days. So I know everybody got some selfies. Danny was there. I know a lot of people got to visit the rock garden, was rock garden, and I
Yes.
hope to be there someday myself, but did not get to experience it during BLOCKCON. But I still felt like
Yeah.
I was there, because so many people were posting pictures and going live. And, that's the wonderful thing I think about the Blockhead community is the sharing of
Yes.
experiences, either real time and many, many days and weeks after the fact. So that's why we're all awesome, right?
Yes, no, it was really, really cool to finally see it. And you're right, it was really busy. There was a lot of people on the Thursday. So you probably just needed some time to get settled.
Yes. Yes. I actually worked that day. So I
Oh
left.
man.
Husband took me to the airport, and then I was, in Chicago, Rosemont. I didn't even get to actually the hotel until around 5:30 or 6. So yeah, it
Mhm.
was one of those days that I just didn't want to have to deal with that added, rushing and trying to figure out how to get to and from because, again, I was like solo Joe. Get it? Mary Joe, solo Joe.
Yeah.
Traveling and everything. So I
Nice.
was saving my energy and myself for the upcoming days and the BlockCon itself.
Hmm.
So
So that's it. First day. First day right before the concert. That's when I met up with you there in the lobby.
yes.
And a
Yep.
bunch of us were there at that time. Um, what was your impression of everything when you walked in the door? Like what grabbed your attention first?
Well, it was even before I got to the door, walking from the hotel, because I stayed at the Hyatt. So I
Okay.
was around the corner, about 10-15 minutes walking distance from there, which was good. I
Hmm.
liked that because I don't know, it kind of burned off some nervous energy. As many times as you go to these things in terms of concerts or if you're, lucky enough to do VIP stuff, I'm always nervous no matter what
Hmm.
just for anticipation, what's going to happen. And with
Yes.
something like this, what was going to happen? Schedules that we were getting were changing pretty much up until the last minute. And even with the very, the final version, you still didn't quite know what you were going to see once you got there.
Hmm.
So as I was walking up, of course, it was fantastic. The sign had, welcome blockheads and, BlockCon. And, it was like, oh man, shit's getting real, it was
Yes.
crazy. And I saw the merch line
Hmm.
that was outside of the theater. And I was like, oh my God. And I wasn't late, I was on time.
Hmm.
I'm not thinking, you know what, maybe I should get there an hour ahead of time. I'm not into that mindset for this for whatever reason. I
Hmm.
already had to be there earlier to check in because I was lucky enough to have a VIP. So I had to get there to, get my credentials and all that good stuff. So I was early, but people were way earlier than me. So it was just a sea of blockheads. And, it was great to see, of course, because haven't done a concert since, let's see, my last concert was the last show in DC from the mixtape tour official, in its truest form.
Hmm.
And so it had been a minute since, having to be around a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of blockheads and getting back into that swing of things. But, after talking to a couple of people, you get back into it, and it's you're back in your groove, right? But
Hmm.
then after I went through the credential stuff, which, note to new kids, they've done VIPs before. There should have been no reason there were hiccups. But anyway, I won't dwell on that. Let's just say do better. Do better a little bit, guys, next time.
Constructive feedback. Okay.
Yeah. um, Going into the theater itself, it was it was just so, I don't know, I was so kind of overcome with, oh my gosh, this is really happening. And to see, the BLOCKCON banner in the foyer, go the
Mhm.
stairwell, and to see the blow up blockhead head, and the stage that they had set up with the microphones, and seeing the pictures
Yeah.
from, tours of the past. I don't know. I just was like, oh my gosh, what a wonderful thing this is going to be no matter what. It's the
Hmm.
first of its kind, and I'm here to experience it. You only get but one time to say that, and so
Hmm.
I wasn't like in tears or anything like that, but I felt like that emotion of, this is why I love this band still to this day, this group
Hmm.
of guys. And of course, I love Donnie, in particular, and
Yeah.
him being the brainchild of a lot of this stuff just makes me love him even more. But
Hmm.
I got to see people that I hadn't seen in a while, like you. I got to run into you, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
you're not sure who's where. I knew you were on you were going because of course I saw your pictures and stuff from the night out in Chicago and everything.
Yeah, what we
And
called a quiet birthday.
which I love. That is just phenomenally hilarious. I love that.
It
Um,
was fun.
but then to see the doll boxes, I thought I was going to pass out because that was just
Hmm.
ingenious. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. If that was not on my bingo card,
We
for block.
need to know who thought up the doll boxes. It was
Yes.
so cool. My mouth dropped. I was like, "Wow, what an idea!" And in my brain, I wasn't even thinking about the fact that the guys could actually be in them. I was
Oh,
thinking about it was just for us to go pose for
yes.
pictures.
It was another photo booth opportunity for the fans. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Someone says to me, "Donnie's in his box." I said, "This is before I'd seen them," and I'm like,
What are you
"His
talking about?
box? The hell is going on?" So I go in there. I go in there and I'm just, I didn't go into the line for Donnie. I just stood to the side of it watching people go in the box taking pictures with him. And I'm like, this is amazing. I have to tell everybody, right?
It was, yeah, and I didn't catch that until after he was already done and through, and I was like,
Mm.
man, that sucks. But again, I was like, I've got a VIP experience tomorrow. If that's the only thing I get the chance, or that night actually, if there that's the only chance I get, then obviously happy as a clam, because who wouldn't be, right?
That's
But
cool
yeah,
that you got the VIP.
yeah, I was, gosh, I'm very blessed and very fortunate. I don't take that for granted. And I was just lucky enough I was getting a single ticket. So I think the luck was on my side when ticket purchasing was happening. So,
True.
uh,
That does
yeah,
make it easier.
yes, you don't have to, when you're in multiples, you are at a disadvantage from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So
Mm-hmm.
I count as much as I wasn't sure if I wanted to be alone in that instance, I did because I was able to snag that VIP ticket.
The
So
thing
that,
is, even if you do purchase something solo for seating at any New Kids concert, you're never really alone because you're
no,
always going to end up making friends with whoever's near you.
yes, and I did. I
Yeah.
absolutely did. And it
Hmm.
ended up being a friend of Michelle, DJ Michelle on the radio station, and her compadre Megan from
Yeah.
history. So yeah, it was funny because we were and I'm sure we'll get to the game, but just being out there afterwards, and I was kind of tagging along with them, and Tara, who was my seatmate, as we were calling each other, she
Mhm.
comes up and she said, "Oh my gosh, you know those guys?" Yes. I'm on the radio station with Michelle, and I knew Megan obviously through Michelle. So
Mhm.
it's truly, you're never alone. That is absolutely true.
That's
Absolutely
right.
true.
That's right. Now going back to the like we'll go to the concert that night. Um when you think about the amazing amount of effort they put into doing all the deep cuts they did and the wardrobe and such. Um first of all, them bringing back the solo shirts, the individual shirts was ingenious. Like it was just is
I got
ingenious a
the
word or is it just genius? It's genius.
It's genius, absolutely. And I'm knocking stuff over, but I have my old one that I can't wait to put next to my new one. I still
Cool.
have my original one. So I'm
Does it
like, I
fit?
adopted mine. Oh, probably because honestly, I was a little bit bigger in middle school. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
so
Okay.
it
That's
probably fits as it probably should have, back in the day. But yeah, yeah.
that's
I
cool
still
that
have
you
the
still have it.
comparison, but I
It's cool that
will.
you still have it. What was your favorite of the deep cuts?
I don't know that Crash would be a deep cut considering, but when they came out to that, I know my mouth hit the floor because
Mhm.
I had been wanting to hear that song live for so long.
Uh,
And, truth be told, my first concert was in 1990. Didn't see him again until the reunion in 2008. Definitely had a ticket to that. But because of lineups and stuff that they had with them, and I just wasn't interested. And of course, I was very picky about where I was going to spend my money. I didn't go
mhm.
to a concert again until 2017. So I had a break there. I mean, I was not out of the fandom at all, just, concert wise, I hadn't been to one in that time period. So they could have
Mhm.
very well played Crash, and they probably did when the Thankful, record came out. But I hadn't seen it live, and that, yeah, totally. Oh, oh my God, I thought I was gonna die, and I know I wasn't. But I would say one song was probably my deep cut that I was like, oh my God, I'm hearing this. I am hearing this.
One song seems to be, I don't know, from watching live performances and such on YouTube, one of those songs that they seem to really dig doing from the block,
It's so
from the
upbeat.
block album. Yeah.
I mean, how do you not?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If you don't move to that song, you need to go see a doctor because there is something wrong with you.
You
It
are
just,
broken.
yes, exactly, because it just takes you over. I mean, and I honestly, if the whole concert I was taken over, but the block songs themselves, I was just so happy to hear because let's face it, if you've been to the mixtape tour, you've heard all the hits and you've heard them numerous times. And of course, they had that filtered in as we expected they would at this concert. But they really did, I think, a great job of putting in the songs from the block to celebrate why we had all come together, I think, anyway, for BlockCon to
Hmm.
celebrate that and us still being together after all this time, them coming back together. And that was just it for me. Anything from the block, I was like, hell yeah,
That
I'm
album is a
here for this.
masterpiece. I love that album so much.
I never get tired of listening to it.
No,
I
I
mean,
don't either.
front to back. I mean, there's a couple of songs I like, less than others, but I don't skip anything. And I still get as giddy today, maybe just slightly less than when I first heard it, but still, it just is it was just, oh my God, the boys are back, but they're back as men. And I still
Yeah.
feel that when I hear that music, it just
And the
that
album feels like a love song to us too still being with them after all these years.
that is a fantastic way of describing it. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Couldn't agree more.
I remember buying it in 2008, bringing it to work with me at a restaurant where I worked at a restaurant, like I still do. And I told the kitchen guys, let's play this. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, play it. They would not give it back to me. Like we were listening to it constantly at work, and just I loved that. They loved the album. So that I thought that said a lot about like how mature and amazing the music was that was put together for that. So
Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Love it. Love it. They can't play the block enough. They put more of that into the tours, guys. But anyway, again,
Yeah.
constructive feedback.
Mhm.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dope Nostalgia listeners, I love you and I thank you so much for being a part of this show and its success over the last 2 years. We have what's called Patreon for those who want to support the show financially. For as little as $1 a month, you can become a subscriber and get bonus content, early podcast release, all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff, and more. There's different tiers of membership starting at only $1 a month. And we even have some special merch for you guys who are in it for the long run. So please join our Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/dope nostalgia.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's DJ AK The Amanda Knight from No More Games Radio. Check us out at nomoregamesradio.com and keep listening to my favorite girl, Naomi, on the most excellent 90s podcast, Dope Nostalgia.
Hi, we're the new kids on the block. Check this out. Join us live in your house on Thursday, March 15th. It's gonna be the house party of the year.
And if you can't see us live or you want to see us more than once, there'll be replays all weekend long.
New Kids on the Block, live in concert, Thursday, March 15th.
Hi, this is Joe. And I'm John from New Kids on the Block. Check it out. Join us live in your house Thursday, March 15th. It's going to be the biggest house party of the year. If you can't see us live or you want to see us more than once, there will be replays all weekend long. Right here on your cable system.
Day 2, of course, panel day. Panel day was my favorite day. I would want to ask you, what did you learn from the panels that you didn't already know?
Oh my gosh. I learned a lot, I think, just about maybe the most important thing is how much fun they had making those videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you wonder sometimes, especially now when you go back and look at them and them being as young as they were, you don't know what they're being forced to do, what influence they have, what input they have. And I'm talking about obviously the Hangin' Tough era videos. I don't know, just the stories behind them and like how little money they had, how they had to, on a shoestring budget, get these things together, and how good they turned out.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's genius for, the director, obviously, and producers and all that good stuff. And I don't know, just to learn about that, I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, I've heard things over the years, but to hear it firsthand and them to analyze things real time, that was pretty cool. I really liked that. That was really fun.
His name is Doug, right?
Doug, yeah. I was thinking I was gonna call him Dan. I'm like, no, that's Danny.
It's Doug. Before I wanted to say Doug and not screw it up, but
right.
I think one of the things I learned that kind of thought, wow, was remember when Danny said, what was the budget on this thing for this one's for the children? Because I thought that would have all been stock footage of the children all around the world.
Right. Me too.
And our best boy, Striped Kid. But it's not like he went and filmed all of that. I couldn't believe it. What was the budget?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but for such a not a very good song. I mean, it's not the greatest in the world out of all of their catalog,
I will say last year in Miami that DJ AK and I got to twerk to it while the beautiful Chrissy and Adrian sang it at karaoke.
Yes.
That was the best version you've ever seen.
Yes. It was it was an experience, and I'm glad I was there to see it firsthand and very up close and personal. It's definitely locked into the brain. I think I may even have a video of it.
Don't be terrified to watch it. It's out there. I think I have it on my Instagram somewhere in the highlights of it. I don't know. It's worth a watch. Yeah. But anyway,
round 2 of that for BLOCKCON, but maybe next time.
I'm gonna put it out there. There could be another karaoke happening. It's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see. It's my jam. Okay. But yeah, like from the panels too, if you could pick a video you want to see the guys react to for the next BLOCKCON, what video would you think would be fun for them to see?
I think I would like them to talk more about tonight because of Donnie, and then of course he was full into his bad boy image at that point. I mean, motorcycle and all. And doesn't Marky Mark make an appearance in that video too at some point?
I know he did in Step by Step.
Maybe it's Step by Step. I'm now see the age is starting to catch up with me. But because I know that they talked about it a little bit when they did that live during COVID, you know, for the 30th or whatever anniversary it was for Step by Step. They talked a little bit about it, but I'd like to see them dissect that because the dancing on the steps, who thought of that?
The steps were great,
you know, and
even though John wasn't even on the steps,
right? And then it's stuck. It's still how you know, it's how they do their lineup for VIP. So I think it's timeless now at this point.
I never thought of it that way. You're right.
Yeah. It's step 1. Yeah.
Boom.
So that in summertime. I would like to see them just dissect summertime a little bit because John is with some girls and stuff, and I think that's funny.
That was one of those videos where we hate all the girls in the video.
Of course we do. You always hate the girls in the video. They could be their sisters and you'd still hate them. It's like skank, you know, oh my God, are you serious? Come on. Look at that, you know, and you critique and nitpick and just be a mean girl. You got
mean girls. I feel like if they're probably going to get into the Step by Step era, maybe, but I think I really would like to see them react to Call It What You Want.
Oh yeah,
it's still my favorite video of theirs, and I think it's because of how hot Jordan looks in that white shirt and black pants and dancing with all those ladies who I also hate. And
it's
I would love them to talk about that whole process of making that video. Yeah,
I think that's a good. I would definitely love to hear about that too. Honestly, there isn't anything I wouldn't love to hear about. Let's be honest, you know. Them talking and being them and just being like chill like they were. I'd sign up for that any day. Definitely.
And did you get to go upstairs and enjoy the wardrobe experience?
Oh yeah, I went live on the station account for that because I wanted everybody to get a chance to see it who wasn't able to. And of course, I don't think this would be any surprise. My favorite was the Hang a Tough video wardrobe for Donnie, which he then of course tried on the pants during the panel. And let's just say I was hoping the rip was in the front. Okay, let me just say it. All right, I take the back, but all right. I know
the overalls still fit.
Crazy. That was ingenious. And again, here we go again.
The marshmallow just filled it out nice for him. There you go.
That whole oh yeah. I will not get myself in trouble by saying anymore, but let's just say good.
Did you get up to any other activities while you were in the city of Chicago?
I didn't. I mean, after the game and stuff, I hung out with Michelle and Megan. We just went to the little sugar place or whatever and got got some treats and got to hang out there, which was cool. It was a nice little, just right by the.
That was a nice little entertainment zone.
Yes, you didn't have to leave if you didn't want to. There was actually quite a bit of things that you could do within walking distance, and it was pretty cool. There was actually, and we were because we were joking, we are like, all right, you think Joey will do a solo show tonight somewhere, maybe?
On
Because
this stage right here in the middle.
it was crazy. It was right there. There was a
Yeah.
stage right there in the field, and there was like a nightclub or bar type thing. I think it was
Yeah.
called Joe's. I swear it
Oh.
was called Joe's. We said, missed opportunity, dude. Come on.
The city of Rosemont is beautiful. I really liked that entertainment district. We got to do the dueling pianos thing and all of that. One thing I want to give a shout out to some people in general out in the world is the fact that all the service we had everywhere was impeccable.
Yeah.
Like the customer service was amazing out there.
Yes, it was. I had no bad experience, especially with people at my hotel. They were, they had other things going on, of course. They had some other, groups that were staying there and doing activities, and everybody could not have been more friendly and accommodating and just welcoming, which is a nice change, because if you ever come to Baltimore, don't expect that. I won't speak for everybody that works in Baltimore, but there's just that's not what I'm used to.
It's just not as common.
Yeah. And it was nice. It was so, I don't know, I felt very just safe, being amongst everybody, and either walking to the convention center or walking over to the theater or wherever around. It just felt like, it was just a nice atmosphere. It was very pleasant and very laid back.
Very
not
nice.
the hustle and bustle of a lot of cities, which, I appreciated that. It was nice to have that break. So
it was a very nice place to be. To wrap things up, I wanted to ask if there's any specific memory or something you wanted to share about the whole time at BLOCKCON with us.
Well, I did eventually get into the box with Donnie.
Yay!
And I had my Donnie girl hat on, which I should have brought over with me, since I have so many other things around me, as you can see. I'm actually in my closet, everybody.
She's got all her Wicked BLOCKCON purchases on display. It's wicked.
That's not even all of them. The sign,
and the No More Games Radio sign.
Yeah, it's blocking some of it, but that's okay. I did get a chance to get in the box with him. I had my Donnie girl hat, which I got from Sparkle by Night. Gonna give a plug and shout out to Sharon for her awesome stuff. A lot of stuff I brought with me to wear is from her shop. And he grabbed my hat and he's like, I love you. And I know he says that to everybody, but I was like, you know what? Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you so much. And he signed my TV guide that I brought with me. I snuck in the box with me real quick. Of course, my Sharpie decided to be a real a-hole and didn't work completely, but I know he signed it, and he said the same thing too. He said, my signature's on there. And he was just like, he's like, I got to give you another hug. And so that's something I'm definitely going to take with me, because I, got to see him during VIP, but that's such a quick experience, and it's very structured, and, cadence is very, very much part of that whole experience. But to just have that, at least a blurb, an extra time with him was just, I'll never forget it. So
what a beautiful moment.
And can I just say, I should have said a lot of other things to him, but when you're in that moment, it's like, you don't know what to say, and you're just taking it in. But there are so many things I'm like after, like, damn, I should have said this, But I try not to let that take away from the special moment that it was anyway. So
exactly. It sounded pretty perfect.
I think so. But I also think that man is pretty perfect. So
Donnie girls, I love you.
Well, we're all Donnie girls. I say that all the time. We are all captain, or at least captain girls. We'll say that. And then,
there you go.
I mean, how can you not love him?
He's all of our captain. Yes.
Absolutely. He steers this blockhead ship. That is for sure. As crazy as it is, he's at the head of it.
So I want you to just tell everybody where they can listen to No More Games Radio and when your shows are on, and give it a good plug.
So you can check us out. Just the best way to find out what's going on is on our social media. So we're on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, No More Games Radio, nomoregamesradio.com. I am I'm on a live hiatus right now just because of life. Life does that sometimes, but I'm doing pre-recorded shows right now. So I have an 80s show that I do that's totally Tubular Tuesdays, and that's on at 8 p.m. It's a pre-recorded show, but all 80s. If you like your 80s, I'm your gal, and that's your night. And then I do Metal Mania with MJ once a month on a Tuesday night as well at 8 p.m. And any scheduling, all that good stuff, like I said, follow us on our social media. We give the latest updates on what's going on there. And you'll see me every so often in the feed or, doing a live video. I like to keep my head out there and be connected with people. So we have awesome chicks. Check us out. We're all blockheads, but we also have our own flavors of music and genres that we like to add into
You're a rocker. I love that.
Totally. I mean, before I went to BLOCKCON, I went to see, and a lot of people may not know them yet because they're up and coming, but The Warning and Plush, they are all female rock bands.
Nice.
That are gaining a lot of ground, especially in the United States and South America. So I did that at the beginning of the week, and then I was with New Kids on the Block at the end of the week. That's how I roll, people.
I want to check out those bands.
Totally.
Because basically, you only hear mostly about Hailstorm, and I love Hailstorm. Lizzie Hale's like a goddess of singing.
Absolutely. And guess what? They've both of those groups have toured with Hailstorm. So
perfect.
I'm telling you, you are not going to be disappointed. They're obviously both in the rock genre, but they have their own sounds. I would say The Warning is a little bit more speed, where Plush is more that traditional, I don't know it, but they're both good. They're just, you won't be disappointed. Try them out. And they're the sweetest, most awesome chicks. We actually, on the radio station, myself and DJ Michelle, had an interview with Bella Peron, who is the lead guitarist from Plush. So
nice.
You can check that interview out on our Spotify and YouTube pages. So
I love it. Okay, cool.
I like to talk, if you couldn't tell.
Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Oh, I'm so happy that you invited me. This was pretty cool. Maybe we'll have to do another sort of collaboration, maybe like a power hour or something on the radio station.
I would love that. I would love it. Great idea.
We'll get your rock on. We'll do like a rock thing. 90s rock.
We should. I used to sing in a rock band. So I should send you stuff. We'll talk about that another time.
That's another show, another day, right?
Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks for listening to this episode of Back to BLOCKCON. There'll be so much more content coming from some of our favorite blockheads in the New Kids universe. Remember, Dope Nostalgia is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work. See you next time.